Welcome back to M&A Ambassadors, Becoming the USP, the Ultimate Sales Professional. Now this is the 9th video in a series on objection handling. And we've been talking about the 7-step process in handling objections. We covered 3 steps in the previous video and had started on the 4th. So I'm simply summarizing the first 3 steps, not explaining it again. So the client is going to raise an objection and he says the markets are going down. So I'll simply start step 1. Ahmed, I can see this is important. Step 2. Is that the only thing stopping you from going ahead? Step 3. When the client says, yes, that's what's stopping me. Step 3 would be, so Ahmed, when you say the markets are going down, what exactly do you mean? Pause and listen, and then good eye contact and simply say in step 4, I understand. Some of my best clients initially felt the same, but it actually surprised them to discover, and then you give your answer. That is step 5. Depending on every objection, you will need an answer. I'm teaching you the structure, not the answer to each objection. We will be doing multiple videos on different kinds of objections later on. So all I will do in this stage is I will go third party. Some of my best clients initially felt the same. And I'll bring in a magic word here called surprised, because the human mind reacts positively or negatively to certain words. So the word surprised here suggests that people had a particular idea about this, but it surprised them. Oh, it's actually not like that. So that's why that word changes the perception when you bring it before you give the answer. So step 4 and 5 would be, I understand. Some of my best clients initially felt the same, but it actually surprised them to discover, and you give your answer. Now, once you have finished the answer, you immediately go to step 6 with no break at all. Step 6 is to check the satisfaction. So once I finish the answer, I will simply say, so Ahmed, does that answer your question satisfactorily? I must use the word satisfactorily, not does that answer your question. Does that answer your question satisfactorily? Because if the client says, well, yes, that answers my question, he has now been set up for a trial close. Because in the step 2, we had asked, is that the only thing stopping you from going ahead? So we've actually set him up there. And he has confirmed, yes, that's what's stopping me. Now, after I've given the answer in step 5, and I will check satisfaction as step 6 by simply saying, does that answer your question satisfactorily? And if he says, well, yeah, that answers my question, I'll simply go to step 7, which is the trial close. Well, Ahmed, in that case, let's just finish the paperwork on this, shall we? Or, so Ahmed, which unit would you like to go for? Or I could say, so how do you plan to make the down payment? These are all trial close questions that you would ask. Now, in case at step 6, you have asked the question, does that answer your question satisfactorily? And the client says, not exactly. Don't ask a negative question, frame it positively. A negative would be, which part of the question have I not yet answered? Don't do that. They focus on the negatives, what has not been done. Instead, make it positive. So, Ahmed, what else do we need to take care of so you could own this home? So that's a better way of asking the question in case they tell you they're not yet satisfied with the answer. You see, the problem with most objection handling is we do not check satisfaction. And when you don't check satisfaction, you just roll along in your selling process without even realizing that the client is not with you because he's still not convinced about your answer. So I have to check the satisfaction before I will go into the trial close. So these are your 7 steps in the process. You start by neutralizing. Then you qualify to check if it is the real objection, step 2. Then you will clarify to get more information, step 3. Step 4, you will go to a neutralize again because he may have gone back into negative space. And step 5 is the third party approach to answering. Some of my best clients initially felt the same, but it actually surprised them. That word must come in there. Give the answer. Step 6, does that answer your question satisfactorily? And if it is yes, that answers my question satisfactorily, go with the trial close. In that case, Ahmed, let's just finish the paperwork on this so I can discuss next steps, shall we? Any trial close question will work. A 7-step process, very simple, very logically put together, keeps you in control, plays and positions with the psychology of the client, keeps you following a structure where the client naturally engages with you, and it will position you for the close as well. So simple, practice it. You can use it on any kind of objection. In a couple of videos from now, or probably on the next video, I will take 3 or 4 objections and run through the same structure on all 3 or 4. I'm not giving answers to the objections right now. We are keeping that for the later videos. But I want to show you that the structure will not be affected by any objection. Master the structure and you will become very good at objection handling. Thank you for joining us on this episode of M&A Ambassadors, Becoming the USP, the Ultimate Sales Professional.